The history of Islam in the Americas can be traced back to the period before Christopher Columbus, but the presence of Islam in the Americas only became noticeable after the arrival of African Muslims during the slave trade. However, one of the earliest Americans to convert to Islam and travel around the Muslim world was Alexander Russell Webb. He was culturally diverse, being white, American, and also Muslim. Alexander Russell Webb was born in Hudson, Columbia County in New York, into a middle-class Anglo-American family. His parents traced their ancestry back to England. His father was a printer, publisher, and editor, and took good care of his large, extended family of 6 children, 4 boys and 2 daughters. As religion played a prominent role in people's lives in mid-19th century America, Hudson was a center of religious activities at the time. Quakerism was most dominant in the area, but the followers of other denominations also lived there, including Methodists and Baptists. The Webb family were devout Christians, and Nelson, father of Webb, was the secretary of the Columbia Temperance Society. As a youngster, Webb was more interested in playful activities than religious observance or education. Webb received a good education in mathematics, history, and literature during his early years. At college, he became interested in writing essays and short stories. He never ceased to think, ponder, and reflect on the burning issues of the day. His philosophical and theological questions led to his growing doubts and uncertainty about his Christian faith, and he became an agonistic. Thus he led a hedonistic and materialistic lifestyle, and showed no interest in religion. He became interested in theosophy in the 1870s and Buddhism in early 1880s. During this period, he combined journalism with work as a salesman, publicity manager, drama director, and playwright. At the same time, Webb privately studied Eastern religions and philosophies, and he became familiar with Asian cultures and languages. He had a large collection of books, reportedly more than 10,000 volumes. He read for 4 to 5 hours a day on a wide range of subjects, especially religion, philosophy, literature, and history. His extensive knowledge and understanding of Asian history and culture prompted the U.S. government to appoint him as their political representative in Philippines. He wanted to go to India or Singapore. The government officials offered him Philippines. From January 1888 to September 1892, he served his country loyally and diligently. During this time, Webb began to study and explore Islam seriously for the first time. He was in communication with several Indian Muslims and became deeply interested in Islam. He explained his intellectual and spiritual journey during a lecture he delivered in November 1892. "My adoption of Islam," he stated, "was not the result of misguided sentiment or sudden emotional impulse. It was born of honest and intense desire to know the truth. The essence of the true faith of Islam is resignation to the will of God, and its cornerstone is prayer. It teaches universal fraternity, universal love. It is the simplest and most elevating form of religion known to man." On many occasions, Webb stated that he was in search of truth, and if his spiritual journey is anything to go by, then his claim is undisputable. He became a Muslim in 1888. He was 42 at the time. Islam's focus on the concepts of divine unity, prophecy, and life after death attracted his attention. He found it be the simple, rational, practical, and authentic religious message. But the path leading to his conversion was not easy. "And let me assure you," he stated, "that in seeking for the truths I have found, I have had to overturn a vast deal of rubbish in the shape of false history, false opinions, and false reasoning." He studied the writings of many prominent scholars. He acquired an intimate knowledge and understanding of Islam and its teachings. During a lecture he delivered in India in November 1892, he fully explained his approach to Islam. He was especially fond of the Prophet of Islam. However, the American public did not know this until the news of his conversion was covered by the newspapers in September 1892. In due course, a wealthy Bombay businessman agreed to fund Webb's religious activities in America. He then went on a tour of the Muslim world, including India, Egypt, and Ottoman Turkey. He met many prominent Muslims and delivered lectures before returning to America on the 16th of February, 1893. He published a weekly journal, established a publishing house, lecture rooms, and a library of Islamic literature. However, he was mocked, ridiculed, and vilified by mainstream America. But he continued his religious and educational work, but the level of funding that was required was not forthcoming. He published his first book in 1893 under the title of Islam in America. In the same year, he went to Chicago to attend the First World Parliament of Religions as a representative of Islam. He delivered 2 lectures on the spirit of Islam and the influence of Islam on social conditions. Both were received well by the audience. Shortage of funding led to the closure of the Muslim World newspaper after only 7 issues. This was replaced by The Voice of Islam, but it also became defunct in August 1894. The combined publication under the title of The Muslim World and Voice of Islam continued until 1896. Meanwhile, Webb's financial situation became dire after he fell out with his colleagues. The news of their breakup soon reached India, leading to more complications. His failure to build links with other Muslims in New York did not help his cause. He and his family eventually moved to New Jersey, and little is known about the last 18 years of his life. During this period, he played an active part in local political and civic affairs. He also spoke in defense of Ottoman Turkey, for which Sultan Abdul Hamid II formally recognized him in 1901. Muhammad Alexander Russell Webb remained a committed Muslim until his death on the 1st of October 1916. He was laid to rest at the age of 69. However, his life and legacy is not widely known today. Hailed as the first American Muslim, Webb was a pioneering American Muslim scholar and reformer. If you enjoyed this video and would like more, please subscribe and share.